Good morning, EasyB tactical viewers. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite, actually my favorite gun right now so far. It's not the best gun in the world, but that's my favorite gun. The MP5 clone or PTR 9CT. As much as I love my Scorpion Stribog and my other SMGs such as the CC Scorpion or my Stribog, I call them the Stribog. As much as I love the Stribog, the Scorpion, and the other couple of other ones I tend to like SMG in general, but my favorite of all time is the H&K MP5. Before HK released the new MP5, I purchased this one, which I still like a lot. This is a PTR 9CT, or also called PTR 601. I've tried to be all over the place because I get excited about talking about this stuff. This one specifically, I like it a lot. Before I forget, if you like today's content, give us a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and post a comment. Let me know about what you think about the PTR 9CT, any MP5, and let's go ahead and get started. So the PTR 9CT, it's an MP5 copy made by PTR, and they call this one the PTR 601 9CT. It comes in a fancy box, which I'll show you later, but it's a 9x19 caliber 9mm round. This one has been modified a little bit. I'll tell you what I've changed, but in the original configuration, and I'll probably slap a picture in the channel. In the original configuration, it comes with an M-lock handguard, and it has an end plate at the bottom, so it does not come with a stock. I had to add a stock or a brace, I should say. I added a brace, SB tactical brace, to this one to make it more manageable. Otherwise, with the end plate and no stock, when you receive it, you can shoot it like a pistol, although for the size and weight it's not ideal. The MP5, the PTR 9CT weighs about 5 pounds in its original configuration. With the SB tactical, maybe it adds almost a pound. I'm not sure. I didn't never weigh in this configuration, since I'm also running it with a suppressor. In this case, this is Liberty Centurion 9mm can. But I also use a tri-lug adapter on my silencer core suppressor, which is a little bit bigger and heavier. Roller delayed blowback mechanism. So as you probably know, most MP5, H&K MP5 are roller delayed blowback, and the PTI 9CT is the same. Roller delayed blowback, semi-automatic. It's not a full automatic. However, the trigger pack, the specs are similar to the original one. So if you have a registered sear automatic trigger pack, it should work. As long as it's a PTR 91 601 configuration, it should work on this PTR body. What else about in terms of specs? Nitride threaded. The M-lock is aluminum normally, but I replaced again by a plastic original handguard from H&K, which I wanted more of the traditional look, right? It doesn't come with a red dot. You have those fixed RM sights on the firearm, which I'm perfectly comfortable with. I've put a red dot when I want to run a little faster, but I must say I tend to even remove the red dot and run this just with the stock sight, because the MP5 or the PTR 9CT, it's very accurate. I really like the way it shoots. Very soft, very flat, lots of accuracy with the truck sight. You have the rear adjustable sights with the little turret. I forgot the right name for it. but it has an 8.9 inch, almost 8.86 inch barrel with a 110 twist for the 9mm round. The overall length is 17.5 inch without the brace. I think the brace adds about another 8 to 9 inches, so overall probably 25, 26. I don't have a measuring tape nearby, but I will have measured this. Plastic grip, plastic grip component, plastic grip in the bottom. It's got nice tungsten welding. The welding spots are very nice. The quality is pretty nice. It's nothing too fancy. And even the original HK MP5, when you take it apart, it's not that complicated, not that fancy. It doesn't look like a very elaborate, intricate gun, but I like the curve. You know, a lot of welded sheet metal, bend metal, the tubular form, the roller delay blowback. I really like this firearm. So more specs. 30 round magazine. It comes with this transparent magazine here, and I've also bought an original HK mag, and I'm buying more of these. Although these are expensive, $80 for a magazine, today's price, so pretty crazy. Trigger pull. The specs from PTR says it's a 9-pine trigger pull, and that's good for a pistol, right? So it's not too light, it's not too heavy. I must say I'll have to check my trigger gauge, but I run this one a lot. Of course, sorry, forgot to say, no magazine in the gun, no round in the chamber. But trigger pull 9 pounds, that's where I was at. Feels quite nice. You pull it and there's a little wall, and then it goes. Very accurate. I'm very impressed. 25 yards. The only challenge will be your visibility, your eyesight. 25 yards. 2 inch, 1 inch grouping together. If I'm stable, if I'm not shaking it off, if I'm taking my time. Now I'm not talking about fast shooting. I'm talking about taking my time to play with it. Running drills and combat is still very accurate, right? But I'm not that. Okay, my grouping changed a little bit because speed is involved, and it's more about making the contact to the right parts of the target versus a tight group like a sniper rifle. But this is my favorite SMG clone or PCC, Pistol Caliber Carbine. I do tend to like PCC. We won't go too much into it today, but I've also, because I do want to get the original HK, but they cost a fortune. Eventually I'll probably get an MP5 kit and try to build an original MP5, but that's another day. I also got another PTR 91, which is a it's a pistol version similar to this one, but this is a 308 caliber. So this is a big dog. It packs quite a punch. We'll have more video on it, and I'll SBR this one to put a foldable stock in it. It was a bit of an adventure to get this one and to make it work properly. It's no longer made. They made a new version of this SBR, but this one is no longer made. But just for reference, this handguard is a little bit similar, not exactly the same than what the PTR 960 came with. 308, similar version, similar look and feel, also from PTR. But again, this one packs a punch. It's very, you have to be able to handle. But despite the fact that it's a 308, it also shoots quite well in terms of recoil management. But it's still not a gentle baby as the PTR 960 is. If I call it my MP5 during the video, forgive me, but I'll try not to. But love this. So what else? I gave you all the specs, I think. Let's take a look at the inside real quick. I do want to have a little. All right, let's take this apart real quick. So I've removed my retention pin, remove the brace, and usually, as I mentioned earlier, you have an end plate there. Got your recoil spring that comes all in one piece with the ball carrier group. I don't know if you can see it. We'll try to do a close up here. So you have your detent spring. This is the roller mechanism. You got the two rollers on the side. A firing pin. Again, I use this, so this is not clean and it's quite dirty, but this makes the roller delay blowback makes the recoil management much better and the action much more effective on my book. So there are more videos out there about how that mechanism works completely, but the disassembly is very simple. Once you remove this retention pin from the back plate or from the brace, you pull your bolt mechanism, your delayed blowback and the action all together in one piece. You can now remove your trigger pack. That easy. The trigger pack is very simple. Safety, fire, trigger. And the trigger pack is very similar but not identical to the one on this one. So, and you have access to the internal. That's it. So let's put it together real quick. Oh, let me show you real quick. In the original configuration, it comes just like this. The back plate, the retention screw, this pistol. So this is the original configuration minus the suppressor and the red dot. So to give you an idea, it comes as a pistol, which it still is even with the brace. So far until the regulation changes, hopefully not. Find the right with your slider, just properly. Come on here. Just aligning this is interesting. There you go. There you go. The pin. My finger. Okay, let me put this back properly here. Magazine release is this ejection part there, similar to the original one. Again, an empty magazine. So operation of the MP5, classic you see in a lot of movies. You can see these firearms, I think, appears in almost any proper gun scenes in most movies in the world, especially since the 70s and 80s movie. So this is the slap where people always talk about, which is when you are locking the chamber back, when you're locking the bolt back to load, there's a cutout here where the bolt is retained, and to release it you push down and you let go. But it's proper procedure to just give it a slap in downward so that it goes back and goes with the momentum right back out. What else? So I'm running this one typically with a suppressor or non-suppress. Either way, I think there's a very minimal shift of impact point. I'm not using the tri-lug on this one because I do need a tri-lug adapter for this Centurion. But the best way to run this is having a tri-lug mount on your suppressor, so it makes it for a very quick detachment and attachment. So you just put it. Even when I use the silencer core or another suppressor like this Hybrid 46, although it's a little bigger, it's well balanced in the gun. I still feel like I can run drill properly with that one, even though it's a bigger suppressor than this Centurion. But I like to keep things small and compact typically, so I usually run with this one, and I don't find a lot of a major noise reduction between the Hybrid 46 and the Centurion, but that's a topic for another time. So it also comes, the PTR 9CT also comes with this typical traditional bungee cord, which the SB Tactical brace allows you to mount due to this quick attachment hole. So I usually run like this. Oops, don't bang my suppressor everywhere. Again, depending on your outfit and your gear, right? The ready position, keep it from the front end. Although the bungee is not necessarily ideal all the time, I tend to just run with it sometimes. Currently, this is a 6R Romeo 5, I believe. MSR, Romeo MSR, sorry. It's a green dot, so I tend to like green dot for better sight acquisition during the daytime. But as I mentioned earlier, I really don't mind using my stock sight, which I usually leave in the middle position. So the rear turret has a larger hole and a small one, a medium one. I tend to leave it on the medium, so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. So I use it on the second or the third. I think just enough circle to kind of surround the front side post, and the front side is gated. It's got this gate protection, a shroud hood, if you will. Yeah, same, very tri-lug mount on the barrel, if I had not mentioned that. Typical to the HK, the MP5. It comes with a thread adapter cap, of course, which I removed to mount my suppressor. But one thing I noticed, so let's talk notice over the years, or just by upgrading, the thread on the barrel on the PTR seems to be a little bit different than perhaps the original HK and some other firearms. How does it come out? How do I notice it? When I thread this Centurion suppressor, or maybe it's the suppressor, but when I thread this on this gun only, it takes a second to find the right groove for the thread. And the threads are a little hard at the beginning, but it gets much smoother as you go towards half of the threaded portion of the barrel. So just keep that in mind. It has to be well aligned. It may feel like it's a little resistant, but then it goes very well. But it only happens on this barrel, so maybe the thread is the centricity of the thread is different. But it never came loose. It never detached. Of course, if you thread your suppressor, you always want to make sure you tighten up once in a while if you go to the range for a lot of shooting. What else? The stock is very simplistic. Very simplistic. Like the original. I wish I'll probably upgrade to an original HK lower part because I want to have the right marking, but since it's the same automatic, it's fine. I'm not trying to pretend anything. I did replace my handguard to the original one, to a copy of the original one, just because I wanted that clean look. I don't have a light mounted on this, although I could if I had left the M-Lock handguard on it, which I still have. But although this is a ready to go gun, I'll just have to use the light that's handled externally. In worst case scenario, I'll tape one to the gun. I'm kind of joking, but why not? But no, I like this one. I really like the pure line for it, so that's why I tend to run it in this configuration, even minus the red dot sometimes. So I think that's kind of a lot. I just wanted to kind of show you my little PTR 9CT. Talk about this gun. I would love to have an HK MP5, the SP5, which is the semi-automatic version of the original, and an original MP5. So we will see what happens, right? But the price doesn't justify that. There's no rush for that. Speaking of price, this is an 1800 MSRP, I think. It costs an average $1,600, $1,500, I think. Considering the new HK SP5, if I'm not mistaken, it's either $2,300 or $2,400 or something like that. Never had an issue with this. if I shoot super fast or suppress. One thing I noticed one time, I had failure to eject casing at the last round. It just stayed in the chamber, but that was it. It kept the door open because the casing was stuck there, but that was it. Another particularity of the HK MP5 or the PTR clone is that the bolt stays closed. So when you get to that last round, you'll have to learn and listen to get the gun after a while or notice, but it won't have the chamber, doesn't stay locked open. So you'll just get used to that if you're a new owner, and then you'll know to pull it back, lock it, swap the magazine. Don't want to put a full magazine there, and then go back to action. But the more you shoot it, the more you'll know when the sound changes or it feels a little different. One comment I have also on this magazine that I bought from HK through HK Parts.net, I noticed it jiggles a little bit when the bolt is open. It jiggles a little bit. When I let it go, it's more tight. It jiggles less. But on the plastic mag that came with the gun, which are made by ESG Group, I believe, ETS, these are ETS magazine. They fit just fine, they never jiggle, no matter whether so the fitment seems to be a little bit better on these mags than this one. Again, I'm gonna try another HK mag and see what happens, but anyway, that's just a little detail. Also, I've just bought that not too long ago, but I've not run into any issues. I must say I've shot these longer than this one, but yeah, just a little interesting fact. I don't think it affects the operations, but if you're picky, it may bother you a little bit. It did bother me a little bit at first. PTR 9CT, my favorite PCC so far. HK MP5 would be nice in real life, but I'm afraid, I wonder if I get a real HK MP5, except for full auto capability, I may have been used to it so much I'll feel like the effort and cost that I'll have to put in to get may not be, but it's always good to have the original stuff. So who am I kidding? As a collector or wannabe collector, I'll have to get used to it. So yep, I did go to the effort of replacing the handguard and making sure my pins, the tension pin, are mounted just like HK original firearms are, just for the sake of the look and feel. But the SP Tactical has been great, no issues there. I wish it would be slimmer, and I was very tempted to buy an original, couple of original HK stocks or brace, but then I'll have to SBR it, and they cost quite a bit of money. $400, $600 at some point I seen for the original stock, sliding stock for an HK25, and I'm not in a rush to spend that cash for that kind of product. So what else? I think that's a good overview, right? Love this gun. If you were to get one, I know there are other companies out there, Dakota Tactical, I'd love to have one of theirs, but I think $4,000, I'm not sure if it's gonna give me, if the price justifies the added value. I'm not really sure what the added value is. I have not compared them both. I'm plenty happy with this one because I have other priorities in life and the kids have to go to school. But my PTR 9CT, hope you enjoy it. If you get your hands on one, or if you're thinking about getting one, maybe it's not a PTR, maybe it's Zenith. Zenith makes a very good clone as well. But the MP5 platform, I think there are plenty of videos out there about the passion and love people have for this one. Some people may not like it. I found this one very smooth, very accurate, very easy to shoot, and that's a very good must have if you're into this kind of stuff. I think I've done enough, I've said enough. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. I try to put more content like this. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your MP5 clone, or if you have an original HK SP5 or the MP5 is. I think the next one I'll get for this kind of series will be a cut, a short version. Although I'm very debating, it would be super fun to have an integrally suppressed original HK SD. That's something out of this world. But they are out there, and some people have them. Do like the channel. If you enjoy the content, do give us a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel, post a comment, let me know what you think. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate the support. I'm almost there, making my way to 1,000 subscribers, and then after 1,000, if it continues, maybe more. So it's all thanks to you, and I hope you enjoy. Stay safe, let's keep a clear mind, and let's not go crazy in life. Thank you for watching. Oh, I did say I was going to show you the case. I knew I was forgetting something. So real quick. Oh, no, not my baby. Look, this guy. Okay. So it comes with this big case. PTR in the front. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a big case, right? Remember, there was no brakes when it comes. So he has the end cap, which I've shown you somewhere here. I don't remember where I put it. It has the manual. I did put my brochure from the SB Tactical here, but it didn't. It has the original copy of the original HK tool, which allows you to do sight adjustment and just servicing the gun. This is the tool you need for that. I never had to use it so far. I'll just keep it in this box. It's got, of course, a lock to lock the gun. It's quite a decent box. It's got the cutout. It has a cutout for the HK pistol itself right there, and it's lockable. It seems to be waterproof, and really, yep, there's the